Going live, and we are live. Of course, no one else is watching, so you are watching a recorded version of this, not the live version. Okay, so train today. You know, I had three kind of ideas I wanted to touch on really quick today. One is the idea of radar. I don't know if you saw the little thing I put on Facebook about like how to hone in your radar. The other is just talking about that word that everyone gets fearful of hearing, right? That two-letter word when people say no. So we're going to talk about when people say no. And the other thing I want to talk about quickly is going to be ADVOCARE compared to all the rest. I know that's come up a couple times. It's come up with how does this compare to this company? And then I have another person on Facebook that I went to high school with, and they have a company that they're promoting, trying to sell through Facebook of this other company dealing with health and nutrition. So we're going to cover on those three things today. First, I just want to share a quick story here, and this is really cool. Just happened yesterday where I saw, I see some people walking next door. You know, the lot's for sale over there, and I see them walk in the back. I'll just go up and say hello. It's kind of nice to know who your neighbors may be. So I went back there, said hello, and got in a conversation, and found out she works for Brunswick Schools, and we're talking about the lay of the land and water and everything, and just kind of getting to know them a little bit. Found out their son's in Xavier University, she was kind of hopping a little bit back there, so I had to walk in your path because my ankle's a little bothered, and we come back up. So of course at some point there's gonna be some way, right, for me to kind of connect in what I do and with this. So I just really just says, wasn't trying to talk about ADVOCARE to them. It was, hey, here's my card. If you have any questions about the lot, because there's some grading and water issues, and feel free to give me a call, and I'm available. And I gave her the card, of course, my ADVOCARE card, right? So it has my phone number on it. She looks at it, she goes, the husband looks at it and goes, ADVOCARE. Husband goes, oh yeah, you've been doing that, haven't you? To his wife. And she's like, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh man, there's my shot, right? Figures, she's already doing ADVOCARE. I'm getting ready, you get that false, kind of that like, oh great. Meanwhile, you're thinking, oh man, somebody else beat me to her. And then, she goes, yeah, I was going to ask her if she signed up, and she goes, I think we talked. Well, it turns out she's connected through Jason Guevara's, the people down at the gym, and I have talked with her a number of times. So she is a distributor on my team that I never met before. So Here I have someone lives in Berea, coming out to look at a lot in Hinckley that I try to introduce here, and turns out she's already on my team. So that was kind of cool. You think, oh man. Oh, cool. That's right. Yeah, your ankle. How'd you get the surgery? You got the recovery? Yeah, okay, this over here. And the husband's like, maybe I could use some of that stuff too. So okay, well now you got another reason to call me. So you just never know. I mean, every situation of, even when I handed the card, I just happened to say ADVOCARE on it. I wasn't talking about that. It was really just about the lot and about, hey, things for the township, since I kind of play a role out here in the township. If you have questions, let me know. Turn to the conversation, which now is re-engaging her, and now potentially even her husband, into getting involved, a little bit more, and at least getting a little bit healthier on the products. So I was going to start with that story there. All right. Well, the first thing I want to cover is, and we're going to kind of have to look into the camera. It's all going to look weird. So I'm going to sit here and stare back at here. I got a little clip I want to show you. This idea of radar started hitting me the other day because, we could always say, hey, someone was on the radar, right? Which means you may see someone that, oh, this is the person I want to go talk to. They're kind of on my radar, So what does that really mean? So I just want to play this short little clip I just found on YouTube. So watch it. Come back over, I know, and look into the camera here, so it'll be really weird, but we're going to go click over and play this clip. When you see the target and radar mid-range, so you see, you may hear something, someone say something, you think the pattern's clear. Here's what's going to happen. Oh, man, I'm just totally exhausted. And so we automatically start thinking, oh man, this is it. They need this. So what are some things, start going towards the target in small steps, small increments. So just like this, you don't take where that dot is now and just make a beeline straight forward, right? Well, oh man, I'm feeling tired. Oh, you got to try spark. You don't make a beeline, go right at them. It says keep the distance while moving towards that target, finding your angle of connection. Okay, so when you first hear those first couple things, It's not about pouncing and going right at him with ADVOCARE for a solution. What if it's a false blip? What if it's interference? What if you're not really hearing what they're really saying? But our tendency is to just take off and just go right at, oh, I need energy. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, you need this. Oh, I lost my job. Well, you need to do this. And that tendency to want to jump so quick at it. So that's something with that radar. And they have a couple of cool things here. It says you can't fine tune the angle. You can fine tune the angle with the rudder. So you're trying to intercept of where this person is trying to go. You want to find the right way to make that connection. Okay, but what's that rudder? When you don't really know a lot about ADVOCARE, it's like working without that rudder. That's what the success system is. That's what your sponsor is. They're that rudder that can help steer the course to help find where that connection point is going to be for them. Okay, and without all that information or that other experience, it's really difficult. You're just trying to make a beeline, thinking where they're going to go, not really knowing for sure. It's a lot of guessing games. So that's really what I loved about that. The idea of, and you can flip that back over, Leslie, if you want to flip, pause that and flip it back over to the camera. Let's see.
What do I push?
Just press pause on that. Yeah. Now just go back up top and flip back to the webinar jam up there. No, to the right. Sorry, to the right. Okay, the other right. I'm looking at backwards. Keep going.
I'm going
Google
this way?
Hangouts. Google Hangouts up there.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
okay.
And so often that's what it is with, I think, with that radar. We think we hear certain things, and we're so quick to try offering a solution. But we don't really know what course they're on. We don't know what path they're on. We may think because they say, oh, I'm so exhausted. We hear, I could really use some extra energy. I wish someone would come share that with me. What could it be? Versus asking more questions. Or, yeah, man, money's tight. Well, it might be, but are they really ready and to make a change? And are they open to the idea of something else? So really, when we hear these things, it's critical to know kind of what path are they on. And that's using the system and plugging someone else in who's been doing this longer that can help navigate you and be that rudder, so we can kind of gauge where that connection point is really going to be, for the other person. Okay, does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll touch a little bit on that, but I want to talk about the word. I want to talk about no. That word we get is no. And I just came up with this quick thing here. I had a little fun with it earlier here. So I just have a few questions. So if I was gonna talk to someone, and I'm gonna have yeah, Scott, you gotta come up here and sit here now.
No, thank you.
Oh. See how easy he said no?
He did. He told you no. Did you tell him beforehand to say no?
He already told me he was going to say no.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's go back. All right, Jim, come have a seat for a second. I'm just going to, think about when people ask, we're so worried. Aren't we worried about someone saying no to us? And because they say there's like some people have to, they won't say yes like their seventh time of hearing about it. People are going to say no, 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 and eventually they say yes. So I'm okay, well, why do we look at this thing of saying no as a bad thing? So I'm going to say, Jim, I just have a few questions I wanted to ask you here. Feel completely free to say no. To anything. I'm totally fine with that. Whatsoever here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So versus I want you to know what I'm doing. So I don't want you to think I want you to say yes. Okay. Answer whichever way you feel comfortable with. Okay. If it's no, hey, that's fine with me. All right.
Okay.
First question: are you completely 100% satisfied with your health?
No.
Oh. Okay. Are you debt-free and financially set?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have all the time to do what you want whenever you want?
No, definitely not.
No? Okay. Okay. Can you sell ice cubes to Eskimos?
No.
No? Okay. Well, are you closed-minded when it comes to improving your life?
No. I'm open-minded.
Okay. Well, are you opposed to the idea of earning residual income?
No, I'm not opposed to that.
All right, so let me get this straight. So
a lot of no's.
So you're not completely satisfied with your health. You're not debt-free and financially set. You do not have all the time you want to do what you want when you want. You can't sell Eskimos, ice cubes Eskimos. And let's see, you are open-minded to improving your life, and you're not opposed to earning residual income.
Correct.
Okay. Well, would you like to hear a story of how I can turn those first 3 questions, those no's and yeses?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I want no's. If you know you're going to get no's, then ask questions that the no is the right answer you want to hear. You know, so many people you ask them that question, people tend to want to hesitate, they're going to say no. Are you financially set? You know, and what I would have asked with those, well, hey, you completely satisfied with your health. Well, no. Well, oh, well, tell me more about that. That's a great follow-up question. They're going to answer no, which you want them to answer no. Well, tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you ask the question, hey, hey, you've been doing your job for a while. I'm assuming you probably love it. It's probably done well for you. You know, as you mentioned, you're not, debt-free, financially set. Well, tell me more about that. Oh, well, the economy hit, and my 401k got cut in half, and with kids in college, even though I like what I do, they're going to start telling you, tell me more about that. So you let them say no, and now you're asking them, hey, tell me more about that. So what happens then? Then do you have all the time, to do what you want when you want? No, yeah, I own my own business, but I have flexibility, but I really still have to put a lot of hours in to earn the income. So, okay, so what they're doing, they're being allowed to say no. You're asking legitimate questions, tell me more about that, and they're going to tell you more about that. So now if you go through that, now I threw the one about can you sell ice cubes, Eskimos, just have some fun with it because we know, guys, we don't, it's not selling. I don't want people to say yes to that. I can sell anything to anybody. Oh man, I'm worried. I don't want that because it's not what we do. So that's just those first 3 questions, would you like to hear a story of how you could possibly change those first 3 no's to yeses? Yeah, sure. It takes about 2 minutes. Well, myself 3 years ago, I was in the worst shape of my life, financially struggling with businesses that did not work out so well and put us in a huge financial hole. And I was just starting all these multiple part-time businesses that was taking a lot of time as I was trying to reestablish, the finances there. A friend shared this stuff with me. It changed my health. I feel 20 years younger, but he wanted me to kind of do the business side of it. Even though I felt great and improved my life dramatically on the health side, I said, you know what? There's no way. I'm not a salesman. I'm an architect. What do I know about this? But then my sister asked, she got quick product results. All I did was refer to the person helping me, so the light bulb went off. Oh, I just refer this to other people. So not only did it change my life, it's changing people I know, their lives for the better. I got a small referral thank you check. Well, that's now grown from $500 a month to $1,000 a month to over $1,500 a month. And today, ADVOCARE on a very part-time basis has paid me over $40,000. What's that doing? Overall, it's improved my health. It's giving me more time to spend with my family as I'm earning more income with this. It's helping stabilize those finances as well. So it's doing all 3 of those for me, and it continues to grow. I don't know if it's for you or not. Do any of those 3 things interest you?
Your turn.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, the person helped me. I told you I was so thankful that shared this with me 4 years ago. Chris, I'm so thankful he did. He started sharing the spark with me. He has helped me tremendously, and he'll help you too. I got a few minutes of his time tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I need to introduce him to you because you need to hear his story from himself, for yourself. And that's all this is. Get them to say no. They want to say no. So give them questions that it's okay to say no to. Now if they would have come back the other way, and just think about the phrasing of those questions. Feel that they're more comfortable saying no to those versus what are questions they're not comfortable saying yes to. Do you want to sell some vitamins? They're not. We don't want them to say no. Those are things they're not going to be comfortable just saying yes. to a lot of these things. Well, wait, what is this? Who's excited about earning extra income? I don't know what you're really asking. I don't know if I'm excited. I don't know what you're talking about. There'd be more hesitation there. Versus if I would ask a question, if I had a room full of people for the first time, and I came all excited, it's like, who wants to make some money? Well, I don't know what you're really talking about here. Versus if I asked, you know what, okay, who here is 100% opposed to earning any residual income? What, no one's raising your hands? It's easier for them to say no. Give them questions they're going to be comfortable saying no to. You're still getting to the same point, right? You're still finding out the same things from them, but realize, a lot of this is going to come at them, and it's going to feel a little weird based on how you're asking the questions. So I'd say go for the no's. They're not saying no to you. They're not saying no to ADVOCARE. What are they saying no to? They're saying no to their current circumstances that they're in, that they don't really want to be in. And maybe they don't realize, and maybe no one's ever pointed out to them. Maybe they just accept that's the way it is. This is the way my health is. This is the way my job is. What are you going to do? Are you looking for something else? Well, obviously not, because I'm still sitting here doing nothing. Are you looking to get healthier? Well, I haven't been doing anything for the last 40 years about it, so obviously, no, I haven't been. Are you opposed to getting healthier? Well, no, I'm not opposed to it. See, maybe they weren't even thinking about getting healthier, but then all of a sudden you're going to share with them some stories. They're going to make them think, oh, really? You lost 30 pounds and 6 inches off your weight at the age of 40? You feel like in your 20s again? I didn't even think that was even possible. I'm just so busy with life. I got so much going on. Really? Maybe I want to hear more about those products. Okay? So get them to say no. They already want to say no.
And those are great follow-up questions to them. Like you said, ask the question and well, tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you have someone that says, no, I'm 100%, are you debt-free and financially set? Yes. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
Are you completely satisfied with your health? Yes, 100%. Wow, tell me more about that. Follow-up question either way, can you sell ice cubes to Eskimos? I sure can. Wow, tell me more about that. I want to know the answer to that question. Except now, see, let me get to these last two. Are you closed-minded when it comes to improving your life? Yes.
Very closed-minded. Yeah.
Tell me more about that. No. Next, it's time to move on with some of those. Yeah. Are you opposed to the idea of earning residual income? So I'd even ask the way of, are you opposed to the idea of earning additional income? I guess I add the word residual because residual, I think people hear differently of. Okay.
Does everybody know what that word means? Do you think the general population knows what residual income means?
I don't think, I think a lot of people don't, but I think them hearing that word, the ones that do, they're more apt to say, well, I'm not opposed to earning some residual income versus are opposed to earning additional incomes. Like the first thing to their mind is, I don't have the time, I can't do that. But at least if they understood that word, I think they would, if they hear the word income, but if they understood residual, the more apt to says, well, yeah, thinking, I could build something that doesn't take a lot of effort on my part, dollars. So that just was just my thinking on the word. Whereas if I say additional income, people tend to think, what do I have to do? How much time do I put into it? I don't have the time. I'm too busy. All those other things kind of pop in people's heads pretty quick. So maybe residual, isn't that's kind of what actors and stuff you earn, right? They earn royalties,
right?
So the idea of earning that royalties on it. Okay. So that was number 2 I want to cover. I want to cover the no. And Leslie, could you check? I have one more piece of paper I printed up in the printer upstairs. So that I thought was a big thing. What do people say? What are they saying no to?
Those are good questions.
Yeah, because isn't that? I guess they're questions that make people think. They're phrased in a way where they have to think for a second about it, and maybe just reflect a little bit on where they're currently at, versus asking a question where they have to kind of commit of them going someplace. Do you want to get health? Do you want to get healthier? Well,
that depends.
Yeah, but I don't know. What are you asking me to do? So when you ask questions like that, it's just more uncomfortable, isn't it? But when you say, are you 100% satisfied with your health? Well, no. That's pretty easy to answer. you know, but do you want to get healthier? Yeah, but I'm doing the best I can. I have a tough thing at work, and, you know, eating's tough because I got this, and I sit at a desk all day. You know, ask the questions that make it easier for them to answer. Okay. All right. Number 3 here. This addressed the issue about like these other companies. Like someone asked at Mixture, okay, what about this company? The best advice with this is do not discuss other companies. Okay, don't discuss other companies. But let's just suspend ADVOCARE and all this for a second here. We got, you know, 4 guys here, we're smart people. We can work something out. If we were starting a startup business right now, let's assume ADVOCARE did not exist, and we're looking to start a business, and we're looking at we know the health and wellness industry is the fastest growing industry, right? We know the demand is getting huge. We know the obesity rate is out of hand. You know, 80% of adults are overweight. Child obesity is all-time high. Insurance premiums are going up. So it's a perfect storm to start a health and wellness company. And we also know you don't get the nutrition you need. You can't possibly get it from the food you eat anymore. It's virtually impossible to do that. So supplements are huge. The industry is growing at a tremendous pace. Okay. So if we're looking at all that from a business standpoint, we say, you know what, let's create a direct sales company. Let's distribute it that way. Hey, it's the cheapest way for us to start a business. Let's just start a direct sales company, work through word of mouth advertising, get a good product. Okay, so if we were going to start this company here, what are some things that we would want to do? Just name it. This is brainstorming now. Okay, we're going to start a health and wellness company. We want to work. We want supplements. We know that market is huge for that. What are some things we want to do in creating our company?
We'd want to have real good, safe products that do what they're supposed to do.
Okay, good, safe product. Okay, how do we go about that? If we want that, what are some things we probably need to do?
Get some professionals' advice.
Okay, get some pros. Okay, where's?
Like the medical profession.
Okay.
Like an advisory board or something of that nature.
Okay, pros medical. Where would we even go to start looking? Where would we target to go find? We want the pros. Where would we go? Anyone has an MD after the name is good enough? No.
It would probably have to be a specific, depending on what the products we're selling and what direction we're going.
So maybe we look at top
Nutritional.
universities. You know, who are some top professors? Some people that have, I guess, high credentials. We probably want people with high credentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what about safety? You know, if we start this business, okay, how do we handle safety of products? How do we assure that if that's our concern, how do we assure that the products we're going to create here are safe?
Tested by a third-party organization.
Okay, we want some third party. Okay. All right, that sounds pretty good. So we're going to get some highly credentialed, and I guess credentials too. Like, well, what areas of expertise do you want to cover? What do you want involved? What areas of expertise? We can't just say doctors. There's all kinds of different types of doctors. So what types?
Nutritional.
Okay, nutrition. What else?
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. Yep, gotta know how the body works. Okay. What about
Sports doctors.
sports?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe when we get into on the results side, we probably want to know how the body works and reacts. You know so we know what the needs of the sports community is. So if we want to go after, we also want to get involved with health, but also performance, right? Because we all know parents are spending thousands of dollars a year for kids in their high school sports, right? In college sports, they're looking for scholarships. They got travel teams. They got thousands of dollars in equipment. They got all this travel, but at the same time, they want them to perform at a top level. They're looking for that competitive advantage in a safe and effective way. Okay, so yeah, we should have college, I guess, probably like the strength and conditioning coaches involved. Because if we're looking for endorsements, right? If we're looking to promote our business, we want endorsers. We want people out there with credibility saying, "Oh, this is good stuff." So we want them involved. So probably major university strength and conditioning coaches. Okay, so you want to get top. We probably should look at someone who knows a lot about pharmaceutical, right? Having that understanding pharmaceuticals. Okay, now we understand nutrition. We understand how the body works. Okay, so we get these people involved, in that. So now we know we should be able to create a good product. We should be able to make sure it's safe, make sure it's tested, okay? And as far as results, okay, so we need to rely on the latest science that's happening, not hype. Okay, so let's talk about standards. A lot of these companies, a lot of companies out there, from an ethical standpoint, we might look at them and say, yeah, it looks good on the surface, but something just doesn't seem quite right. Or, so what kind of standards do you want to set as far as from an ethical standpoint, both in how we look at the products and how we look at our company and the people in the company? What are some things that what are some of our goals for that? Like, how do we want to be known when people think about our company here that we're creating? What impression, as far as quality company, we want them to have?
Obviously you want the highest quality product that you can put out there.
Okay. Well, the products are quality.
And the ingredients that are going into them.
I'm talking about the company. So we got products that are safe. We got products that are good. The products can get good results. We got science to back up those products. We have top division school strength and conditioning guys saying this stuff is good. The product is good. I'm talking about the company and organization that we have. How do we want to be known that way beyond what the products do for people?
I guess you want a company of incredible integrity and trustworthiness, that like our name in the market would be known as, as a company that delivers high quality, products, and the people that are engaged in the organization are, have very high ethical and moral standards. There's, focus on the right priorities and family and not just selling product.
That's what I want. That's what I want to be known for. Okay. Well, what are some ways we can do that? Because I know there's a lot of different ways people. Okay, let's see. We're going to distribute this direct. Okay, through people, or should we just put this in the store? What do you think would be a better option for us? Should we just put the products on the shelves? Try to get in those big boxes, or should we distribute it direct?
Well, I think the advantage of doing it direct would be that people can get more than just the quality products, but they're getting the care and oversight. As long as we're building the company out, that there's people that are trained in how to coach people in health and wellness and really obtaining what their goals are, and then being able to help them achieve those goals. So it's the aspect of good products along with the right level of coaching and education. So that's the advantage of that model over simply trying to put it in a store.
Okay, so
because we would have the more personal touch to it. If you just put it in a box store, they have no one to fall on to go over the products with them or explain or.
Right, and which way they think they'll actually be more successful, if they have a coach or if they get off the shelf?
With a coach.
If they have a coach. Okay, so I guess as a company, it comes back to our ethics. We're saying we're more concerned with the long range health and our relationship of improving their life than the one-time quick sale. I mean, you go to a store, yeah, sure, you can put it in a store and products can move quicker. People see it, great, yeah, it sounds good, let's just buy it. I guess our mission is more of let's really build a legacy, build a foundation of improving their lives long-term versus, hey, let's get the quick fix here. Okay, I like that. What are some other, so we're looking long-term relationship. Why should people buy the products? What should be the only reason that people buy the products?
Because they get them the results that they're looking for.
Okay.
And they're safe.
Okay. So we don't want any of those gimmicky type things where we don't want any of those auto ships. We don't want constant qualification for discounts. You know, order so much or lose your discount. We don't want any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so we want some people buy product is because they get results. If we're not getting results, there's no reason for other products, and we need to do a better job formulating a better product that they want to purchase. Okay. All right. Well, that looks like, it sounds like we have a lot of, and we want a compensation plan that really is fair, right? We want to create something that we want something that people can actually learn and grow in, be compensated for their efforts, not because they just happen to they found the right person and that's it, right? We want to make sure it's that kind of organization that the more people you have, the more effort you put in, you completely control your outcome. Unlike some structured companies where it's dependent on which leg of business and all this kind of weird stuff. We want to keep it really simple. Whoever helps the most people is going to earn the most in the company. And everyone starts the same regardless of when they join, they have the same opportunity. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So we all know there's no reason to create this company because it already exists. It's called ADVOCARE. And the other advantage it has on it, the first thing I wrote when I says, well, why would I get involved in something like that? The first thing I had is over a 20-year track record. There are going to be more and more companies popping up all the time. Why? The same reason we just discussed here. It is the #1 industry. It is the fastest growing industry. The direct sale model is the perfect model for it to really help and coach others along. Tons of companies are going to jump in and be blasting it all over the place about getting better. The deal is no one can match up to ADVOCARE because no one else has the 20-year track record like we do. It was funny. I went to one of those sites and I just said, I'll click on it and check on what their company was. And I had a laugh because you went to the one area on testimonials and it says for this company, this national company, it had a couple testimonials and it said, and over 100 more like it. Okay, ADVOCARE has over 500,000 distributorships. That is 500,000 families, not counting all the people that do product retail. And that's just currently, not how much they've helped since in 20 years. That is currently how many people around the United States. So no one's going to match that. Okay. The next thing, solid guiding principles. We mentioned about integrity, honesty. What are we all about? I see as our companies, hey, great, you could do this and drive a BMW. Is the value on the product? Is the value, look at me, look at my nice car, look at my fancy, and I'm not thinking, if someone wants to drive one, great, but from a moral standpoint, that's not what it's about. If that's what someone likes, great, go for it, earn money, that's what you want to do it. But it's not about the status, it's about changing lives and improving yourself in many ways. So, unmatched third-party testing. No one else tests to the extent that ADVOCARE does. No one wants to go to the expense. It's amazing. You go to some of these sites, you see nothing about testing. I can't find a single thing about any doctor or anybody that I can go Google to see who are these people. They just got a nice fancy site, a nice marketing package of all these great things packaged in here. How great this is going to be. Join this program and that program. No one's going to match our PsyMed board. Sports Advisory Council. They're not in, these other companies are not in all these Division I locker rooms. They do not have the strength and conditioning coaches of these, of these major universities, part of an advisory group. PsyMed, we talked about before, how do you get the best? You look at the credentials that our PsyMed board is constantly recognized for, and when you say, well, kinesiology, well, if you want to know sports performance, here's the editor-in-chief of the Strength and Conditioning Journal, part of our PsyMed board. How much higher can you go? He writes the textbooks that the kids study in college to become trainers. Where do you go above that to get your information to make sure it's the right stuff? Dr. Stanley Dudrick. We can go on about each one of the people here. The credentials are so far beyond the people involved with ADVOCARE. Their credentials are so far beyond anything else out there. So, endorsed by top pros. How is it possible? I mean, if you had to say what position in sports probably has the most marketability as an endorser to receive tons of money? When you talk about football, what position is a position that is probably the most visible?
Quarterback.
Quarterback. So how come 11 out of 32 starting NFL quarterbacks, plus a bunch of the backups, use and endorse ADVOCARE? Now they get a product stipend in exchange for their testimony. That's all they get, a product stipend. They are the most marketable people for themselves to earn income in their local market and nationally to get big dollars to hold up some other sports thing, some other supplement out there. They do not do that for the money. They can get free products from them too, I'm sure, whatever company it is. They don't. They use ADVOCARE so they can trust it and gets that results. No one else can match us with that. Over last year, 2013, ADVOCARE paid out to distributors over $360 million. Over $360 million was paid to ADVOCARE distributors last year. This year it's going to be well over $400 million. Who's going to compare with that? That's focused in the health and wellness industry, just sold in the United States. All right, what else? Then this comes back, why else for me? Well, I feel 20 years younger. I don't know about you, but I feel 20 years younger. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I'm 45. So why would I do this? Well, that's why, the results I got. What else? I've earned over 40 grand part-time. The person helping me earns $8,000 to $10,000 a month. I have other people who want to help me out, earn over $100,000 a month. Compare that to other companies. It's totally transformed my life in so many ways. It's physical, it's financial, but it's in every aspect of my life, except my golf game. So if you saw my post the other day with the spark that Chris, our 4-year anniversary of golfing, everything's better except the golf game. I know, but I had some really good shots. Felt good, had to focus. Spark kicked in, just wow, how'd that happen? So, and also it's allowed me to transform hundreds. So I think about that one thing because Chris sharing that spark with me 4 years ago on that golf course. It was simple as that. I reached out to him. It wasn't even the other way around. He didn't even reach out to me and said, hey, Dave, no, we haven't talked in a long time. Let's get together. Something I want to share with you. That's not how it happened. I just happened to reach out to him through a past acquaintance we both had and says, hey, let's go golfing. Let's catch up on life. And he shared a spark with me. What if he didn't share a spark with me 4 years ago? We hadn't talked in 20 years. We probably said, hey, got one golfing, enjoyed golf there. I complain about life, complain about how unhealthy I am. And yeah, I'm busy with all these other businesses here, man. But hey, it's nice getting together. We should do this again sometime. If he didn't share that spark, would have let me keep drinking those monsters when I'm at my highest weight, struggling in many aspects of my life wouldn't have been changed. And I wouldn't have been able to positively impact hundreds of others. So it's those opportunities that are there, every day. He could have been afraid of man, I haven't talked with Dave in 20 years. I need to build some rapport with him. I haven't, I don't want to be pushy and try selling this stuff. He likes his monsters and he spends enough money on them. Geez, and he buys it by the case right through the websites. He's probably not ready for it. He could have had 100 excuses, but he didn't. He says, hey, you got to try this. That was it. Even when I said no to the business for 8 months after I lost 30 pounds, he still didn't give up on it. He was still there checking out me. How you doing? When time was right for me, then everything changed. Okay, so that's kind of all I want to cover today. I know it was a lot quick, but I don't know how long that was. I mean, it's a quick summary, and we can talk about some other things here. But who's on your radar, and get to know them, ask them questions, ask them those follow-up questions. Hey, tell me more about that. Oh man, this job's killing me, man. Yeah, well, how long have you been here? Oh, this many years. Tell me more about that. They're going to tell you more about it. Because why? People like talking about themselves. People like complaining when things aren't going well. You ask them to tell you more about that, they're going to tell you a lot. And what are you really doing, though? You're really showing them that you really do care about where they're at. The more you understand where they're at, the more we can offer a solution for things. And you keep that mindset. That solution may have nothing to do. Maybe their car broke down. Man, they don't even know who to trust to take this thing to. One thing after another keeps happening. He says, hey, I'm in B&I. I got a buddy who can take care of you. Mm-hmm. And you're going to make that connection. So it may not be about ADVOCARE, but what happens, you build a relationship and they trust because they saw that you're willing to kind of help them and point them in a direction. They're more likely going to hear about what you have to say about their health and wellness too, because they know it's not all about getting them to do something that you're doing. Okay? The no's, just ask the questions you want no's to. I can give you copies of this. I'll probably put it on the Dream Facebook thing. write those questions down. Think about those when you're talking to people. Go for the no's. We want them to say, here's 6 questions. We want them to answer no to every single one of them. Because if they do, and we just kind of position back their no's to themselves, say, okay, so you're not 100% satisfied with your health, and you don't have all the time, freedom to do what you want when you want, and your path really doesn't have you to a point where you have the financial freedom. Would you like to hear a quick story on how those 3 might change to yeses? Well, sure. 2-minute story. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I do want to know more about that. When you have 5 minutes, my buddy Chris has been helping me for the last 4 years. I have everything to thank him for. I want to connect you with him. That's it. How many times are you going to do that this week? Ask those questions, get the no's. They're going to want to turn at least one of those no's into a yes. Maybe it is just their health. Maybe it is their finances. Maybe it's their time. All you got to do is get even want to turn one of those no's, one of those 3 into a yes. And then it's time to introduce them to someone else. And again, ADVOCARE is, nothing can touch ADVOCARE. I don't need to talk about those other companies. I don't need to mention their names. I don't have to know how their compensation or anything else is. All I need to know is that here's what ADVOCARE is. Someone wants to do their homework. All I know is we've been around for 20 years. We have an unmatched side med board, unmatched sports advisory council. We have over 500,000 people currently that are benefiting from these products. It totally changed my life. The pros, the top pros, highest integrity pros use it, endorse it, and all they get is product and change their testimony. You know, I mean, last year we paid over $360 million. You know, it's changed my life, and it's allowed me to change hundreds of others. So I don't know a lot about the other company, but that's why I do this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That concludes the training. I'm going to go click pause on this. You want to go click stop broadcasting over there? Because I know Scott doesn't want to leave the Scott doesn't want to leave the couch here until the video recording is off. Then
Yeah.
just move forward.
Okay, I will pretend to turn it off.
Oh, well, it's off now. Yeah, you come on up here. Have a seat. Why don't you have some more questions for me here?
I don't know how to turn it off.
Just to stop
Can I see your
broadcasting.
question list?
Yeah.
Let me make sure I